Day 3. Well, video 3. But today's goal, I gotta clean this up, take out all that stuff, then glue or epoxy this into that and not have any fear of it blowing out. I am still taking advantage of the fact that this is not actually glued into the box yet, but that needs to happen shortly. So we are going to take this, put that in there. I'm gonna mark it, give myself a channel or something for the epoxy to actually drip into and physically lock this thing in there. All right, little chamfer put in there. It's sitting flush. So let's get to epoxying. As you can see by how glossy finished this is, I went through and just hit it with some primer. Don't know if it's gonna help, but it definitely can't hurt. This epoxy on JB Weld, the 5-minute stuff, it stinks. And I don't want it on my hands, so I got gloves. I've got a cup to mix it in. I've got a spork. I also have CA glue. So once I get the top set where I want to and the epoxy is not gonna hold it in place, I'm gonna CA glue it, and then that will cure now. It'll give the chance for the epoxy to cure and hold it in the space that I need it to be. Let's let that cure. The body filler and fiberglass resin has been mixed. Oh God. Okay, we can fit more, yeah.
I'm helping, I can't help it.
That seems like enough. Just to be sure.
Yeah, we don't have a mic that works here.
We got a ton of microphones. Hey Mike, I get Jerry.
I don't want to be famous, but I don't want you to be either. Look what this guy did.
Straight something caught fire.
Yeah.
I don't want to be famous, but I don't want you to be viral. It's been a couple days. I've got other projects to do, all right? But the pocket that you're sitting in, I think it's gonna buzz. I think it's gonna rattle. I think it's gonna move. Like, if I reach in the enclosure right now, I can get it to flex. I can't get 3/4 inch MDF to flex. So I either make cup holders shorter and epoxy a piece of 1/2 inch on the inside of the pocket, and then that option doesn't take any airspace out of the enclosure. Or I can 3D print my way out of this. I'm gonna try that option. So let me show you what I'm working on. So I'm thinking just a spine. That's gonna glue and bond to the waffle pattern that's underneath there. And it's gonna add basically an extra like 1.25 inches of depth to it. So in there, at the bottom of this, I'm gonna glue that spine in. Now, I thought about adding like a piece of angle iron just across the bottom of it, but then I run into the same bonding issue. I got a bondage problem. Wait a minute. All we can do is print the spine, because I know I can bond like materials to each other. I've got primers, I've got glues, I've got a pie. We can do that. Not a big deal. And I have a lot of faith in the material. I'm hoping this stops a problem before it even arises. I still got 8 hours on this one, so it looks like another Sunday of work. It is Sunday. We have finished printing our spine. Nice. We're going to glue this spine to the bottom of the waffle pocket that's inside the enclosure because I think I made a boo-boo. Since I don't have any customers, I'm not gonna have any phone calls, and I've made a mess all of this week, I am going to start today with just getting my area clean enough to work in. I'm still gonna need the table saw, I'm still gonna need a table to work on, I'm still gonna need the router table, but I can't stand working in clutter. Let's go over this again. So this, I feel like, is going to flex. Eventually from it flexing, it's going to destroy itself. That makes me worried because that thing's epoxied deep into the enclosure. There is a way I can modify, there is a way I can fix this after, but it's getting real close to just ditching this whole thing and recutting it, making it a little bit longer, and then building this out of wood or just rebuilding the whole enclosure together. So, as one of my easier options, I figured I would print this spine. This is all plastic. There's no gaps, there's no skeleton, there's no honeycombing in the middle of it. So instead of it being hollow, sounds a lot more solid, doesn't it? I'm going to glue this, or bond, I'm going to bond this to the bottom of this cubby. This goes in there. And then we bond. That doesn't take up very much airspace. It's going to add a lot of strength. And it gives me a lot more hope that I don't have to rebuild this enclosure. Since it is all just ABS, I'm just gonna use plumbing glue that's made for bonding ABS. So let me make a mess. I'm real good at this. You can see, I started gluing the spine in. We are bonded. I still have a little bit of fiberglass work to do. I need to add the resin there and a couple of the spots inside of the box for seams. I need to get this located in the truck so I can start building sides for it. Let's go do that. The seat's not bolted in, but I did want to check if I could get to the mounting hardware without actually taking the seats out. That would be highly beneficial. The goal is to have this meet up with the dash. Now, my carpentry work is all right. Clearly I can do better. I could make something that goes here out of wood and have it another flat piece. I'm entertaining the idea of 3D printing the piece that actually molds to the dash. But in order to have it kind of, say, attached to here, have the sides and this piece attached, the sides will actually sit on these lips, and you'll be able to lift the sides. I don't think that's gonna work. To lift, yeah, that's not gonna work. This is all gonna have to come out as one piece. Poop. Yeah. I think I'm still gonna scan the dash and the front of this so I could start having the pocket being printed and the provisions for the 12 volt and the 110. I don't know, I'll get back to you when I figure it out. I might be able to work with that. I can see the front of the box, I can see the top of it, I can see the edges, and they are relative to where the dash is. that should give me enough information once I clean up all of the shrapnel. Let me see if I know how to do that. Now, while that loads and I get some type of scan ready, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a bender board. I'm gonna use this as my guideline to meet up to the dash, and I'm gonna get this profile cut out of bender board. Because I can cut that stuff with scissors. I'm gonna replace the bender board with a piece of 1/2 inch MDF, and then we're gonna do another layer 1/2 inch right here, so the edges of the box are gonna look like they're 1 inch thick, which I like. Well, let me see if I can get some templates cut. So we take our bender board and we can run it up that 1/4 inch all the way to the dash. This must have been a stencil from somebody else's dash. Nice. Now while this is close, it is not what I want. It's flat. Roughly. Closer. Where's my pencil? I think that's gonna get us close enough for wood. It's only gonna work for the passenger side. Back to the computer. Export console scan. Okay. I gotta play with that at home on my home computer. So the idea I'm going for is actually something a bit like that. Probably bring this side of the console down. I'm gonna cut a little bit more of that off. Is that still ugly? Yeah, right there, and then armrest is gonna stick up a little bit more and hang over. You know what? Cup holders. It's tight. Big enough for a coffee cup. I'm still bringing the sides of this thing down. Just a little bit. Yeah. I think I'll keep it. So we got to put the spine on the waffle part to hopefully fix a mistake that I don't know if I actually made a mistake yet. We made a template for the side of the box to meet up to the dash, cleaned the shop, took a scan of the dash, gave ourselves homework. The biggest thing is that his interior guy wants the truck. So today's Sunday, he's got an appointment, I think Thursday or Friday. So I've kind of got 2 or 3 days to get this truck drivable, or we push his interior appointment out. Decisions. I'll get back to you.